Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. And if it's your first time here, I'm Janetta, an author who loves to draw. On my channel, I focus on combining storytelling with art. If that's something you're interested in, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Let's get to it. SSMD, So It Begins, Chapter 5, A Time to Pack. Eva. Although I had a lot to say, I kept my mouth shut. I waited patiently as Sharon cried her heart out. Finally, she pulled some tissue out of her purse, wiped her eyes, and blew her nose. I need to freshen up and get out of here. There's a lot I need to do today. She stood, purse in hand, and headed for the bathroom. Her heels tapped loudly along the hardwood floor before she became silent behind the closed bathroom door. I sat quietly and tried to wrap my mind around this morning's events. It was hard to do. 10 minutes later, Sharon stepped out of the bathroom, her composure back intact. Eva, I need to get going. I followed her to the door. If I could have stopped her from whatever insane plan she was about to initiate, I would have. It'll be okay, Eva. In my practice, I've seen a lot of casualties from broken marriages. Most people want it to be an easy skip along a beautiful seashore, but the truth is, it's a strategic war. You have to fight to get to the seashore, and most people quit at the sound of the approaching army. Only problem is the soldiers you are fighting are supposed to be on the same side. Like I said, it's not easy, Sharon said with a sad smile. She left, and I closed the door behind her. For once, I was glad I wasn't married. Sharon. Sharon called Phil's mother and asked her to pick up Sienna and PJ when school let out. Because it wasn't out of the norm for Sharon to ask her to pick them up, his mother agreed without question. After hanging up the phone, she took a deep breath. She was heading home as she knew Philip would be waiting for her there. If she was to save her marriage, she had to prepare herself and stick to her guns. She pulled into their driveway. Even though his car wasn't visible, she knew Philip was there. Keep it together, Sharon, she whispered to herself as she exited her car. Philip was waiting in the entryway. He started talking the moment she crossed the threshold. Sharon, I am so sorry. You have to believe me. Oh, there is no doubt in my mind that you are sorry. She blew past him and started up the stairs, heading for their bedroom. He was 2 steps behind her. She entered their bedroom and walked to their closet. She grabbed the largest suitcase and slammed on the bed. Sharon, I know you are hurt and angry, but this is my home too. I'm not moving out. No one asked you to. Sharon grabbed some of her clothes from the closet and threw them in the suitcase. I'll go. She grabbed some more clothes. You can't leave, Philip said, blocking her path. We need to work this out, not run away. We can get through this. You were selfish enough to not only cheat, but cheat with Leah. So if I want to take some time to think things through, then that's what I'm going to do. Now your mom is going to pick up the kids today. I suggest that you don't tell them anything until we figure out what we are going to do. Are you staying with Eva? Philip needed to know. Nope. Sharon kept packing. How can you leave the kids? Who's going to look after them? You're going to look after them. You're going to take them to Little League, ballet, piano lessons, and so on and so on. Their schedules are on the whiteboard in the kitchen. Tell them I went to a conference, and I'll call them tonight. When I call, I want to talk to them, not you. And before you ask, I don't know how long I'll be away, and I don't know when I'll be ready to talk to you. As soon as I know, you'll know. Sharon closed the suitcase, snatched it up, and walked out. Chapter 6. Sick of being single. Eva. It had been a half hour since Sharon had left my place. I was once again sitting at my desk and attempting to regain my focus. After logging into the SSMD website, I pushed all the madness that happened earlier to the back of my mind. It was time to pick the first post I thought could use my advice. Like an athlete with before-game habits, I rubbed my nameplate I took from my office at work, then the cup I purchased that said Future Millionaire. I began reading through the posts, looking for one that needed my attention. Finally, after 35 minutes, the following post caught my interest. Dear SSMD, I'm a 35-year-old single female who is sick of being single. I'm tired of reading self-help books and tired of being set up with fixer-uppers by well-meaning friends. I have been given many reasons by the same friends for why I'm still single. I have been told I'm too fat. I've been told I'm too thin. Apparently, it depends on the size of the friend who's giving you advice. I've been accused of being too picky, too needy, too independent, too unapproachable, and so on and so on. I just want to find one good man to spend my life with, but I'm starting to think it's not written in the stars for me. So I'm writing into you as a Hail Mary, hoping you can think outside the nightclub, church, gym, or online dating services and suggest some valid places or ways for me to meet decent men. Sincerely, sick of being single. The fact that she was sick of being single wasn't what caught my interest. Truthfully, many of the posts I read before hers stated the same thing. It was the fact that she had challenged me to think beyond the standard responses. I sat back and thought for a moment. Then I thought some more. If she was Leah, she would look at one of her best friend's beds. But if she found one there, he wasn't worth finding. I think to myself, how should I respond? How do you think Eva should respond to sick of being single? Comment below and let us know what your thoughts are. Then come back next week and find out how Eva responds to sick of being single. Hope you enjoyed today's story. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Until next time, be and stay blessed.